This is Phill Harlow. You're watching the East Coast. So I'm gonna keep it clean. I'm gonna keep it clean. It's the East Coast Assassin. It's Phill Harlow, and you watching.
Who gave you your nickname?
The dog or who? What? Which one? The East Coast?
Either way.
Rod gave me fire. Alfred State said Fire and Ice. I got Assassin from Arizona. They used to call me the East Coast Assassin.
You got 2 or 3. It looked like 3.
That was really it. That was really it.
So hold on, Rod. So let's get this right.
Rod was fire. When I was with Rod, we was Fire and Ice.
Got you, all right.
Out west, I was the East Coast Assassin. You know, a lot of Rochester cats gonna be mad at that.
And I called you Skip to My Shoot.
Skip to My Shoot. Yep. We're gonna talk about your nickname was Dribbles. Skip to My Shoot. That's funny. That's funny.
Now you got a new name now, right?
Skip to My Shoot. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, but that night was memorable. But yeah, yes sir.
Salute, signing off.
Fat Daddy, that was that game.
Wait, is that against Edison right
That's
now?
against Edison. 2 seconds left on this clock. You see I'm up there. You see where I'm at. You see the pops.
So that's you on offense or on defense?
On offense.
On
I scored
offense,
that. I scored that.
gotcha.
Yeah, I was going down, but I just dropped it in.
Gotcha. And it's the same game.
That's the same. Fat Daddy tried to dunk on me and
You swatted it.
glass. Put it on the glass just like my dad got his put on the glass. I was just messing with him.
Almost identical.
You got your out of there, Dad. Yeah, because I was like, oh no, he put it, because you see it, he put that on the glass.
Put that right there. Put it right there. It's right there. Oh, that's the one that was your phone.
The one with, against when I was up here, like this one?
Yeah, that one looked identical.
No, this one is the identical one.
The
Like,
identical is like that one. Yeah.
Yep. That's crazy.
He said, I put it on the glass.
Yeah.
Holla at your boy. We back on Gems in the Rock. We got your boy, legendary shooter from the 585. Went to Fairport High School. Got mad history there. It's your boy, Phill, Gunner, Ice, Harlow. I'm bugging on my intro, right?
No, that's all good.
That's all good, right?
Cats gonna be bugging off. They gonna be bugging.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, what's up?
Yo, man, glad to have you on the show, man.
I appreciate it,
man.
also. I appreciate it. Pleasure is all mine.
Man, that's gangster, man.
All mine.
So Gems in the Rock is just known for, spreading gems and going back to history in regards to when athletes had, picked up the ball for the first time. And we're just gonna go back in terms of, your first time just picking up the basketball and just having the desire to want to, play basketball, what have you. When was your first actual time that you just basically fell in love with the game?
I think my first time, besides my father being who he was, as an All-American, All Hall of Famer in Syracuse, I grew up knowing that my family, my father and my uncles were superior athletes coming out of Syracuse, New York, and my father played in some leagues and stuff out here in like North Street League. I think he played in the Xerox League, other leagues. So he used to always take me with him. So I always, at a young age, was watching my father play, and I think that's probably what inspired me from a young age, very young age, to still want to play the game of basketball. From Syracuse to Fairfax, Virginia, and from Fairfax, Virginia to Rochester. I think I was in the 4th grade when I moved to Rochester.
Okay. So seeing your father at an early age and whatnot, that pretty much injected you with the bug of basketball. At what stage were you realizing that you was pretty much a shooter?
Early, I was always small, skinny. My shot used to come from my hip, but I knew I had a natural touch. I just wasn't strong enough to get the ball and up, you know what I'm saying, yet. But I think early, because that's what I could do. I wasn't strong enough to get to the basket and finish consistently. But that came along later on. But shooting the ball, was playing in little YMCA leagues. My father had me in at the 3rd and 4th grade. That's what I could do. Shoot it. I knew I could shoot at that point.
In middle school, what school did you go to?
Went to Martha Brown Middle School.
Did you play there as well?
Yes. Started all through. As a 7th grader, I think I did not start. I didn't start. There was only 3 7th graders on the 7th and 8th grade team. So I didn't get very much time. 8th grade, start captain. 9th grade, started captain all the way through JV in high school.
Wow. So in high school, you get to play, and your freshman year, you come in. What was your expectation coming in as a freshman?
Just to continue to do what I was known to do, was shoot the ball out of Coach Wyman. Shout out to Coach Wyman. He inspired me. He's the one who told me that I could. He's the one who gave me the confidence, along with my father, the confidence to be able to keep working on my game and knowing that I would improve.
Right.
But yeah, shoot the ball. I wasn't even the best player in my 9th grade team.
Right.
There was other players that had better years than I did. And we had a decent team. You know, Fairport had athletes, football players.
Right.
So the football players could translate that in 7th and 8th and 9th grade. They could play. If you were an athlete, you could play. I had a lot of my friends that I grew up with that played all the way through the 9th grade. When they ran track, though, but they were athletes.
Right.
So we were all fairly good, but I wasn't the best on my squad in the 9th grade either. At 8th grade, maybe, yes, but 9th grade I was not. Maybe 2nd.
So you was in high school playing in the 8th grade on...
No, I was on the 7th and 8th grade team, but on the freshman team, I didn't never skip to. Some people get called up. I never got called up to play.
Gotcha.
Playing in the Fairport system, you're not getting called up. That's the difference between coming up with a system. It wasn't jumping. You was going to pay your dues.
And this is not a city school.
No, suburbs, county.
So county schools are much different from city schools. And I know when city school go out to play these county schools, sometimes there's somewhat of a bias. Have you ever witnessed any biasness throughout the game play, like referees not giving city schools a certain calls? Or...
Oh, of course, you see that. Yes, you do see it. And this is not to rap, but when you play the game a certain way, you kind of have to expect when you go to city school district or any school, county school that was our rivals, you're not going to be getting those calls or any the calls that are favoring you. And I never even looked at the game like that when I played, that we were getting like home jobbed, or the referees were taking it because we were good enough to play through those.
Right.
You know, if you made a bad call, you have to be good enough to be able to. That play is past you, so you had to be able to. And Coach Fitch, and my high school coach, like, it's still all these principles, and my father too, his principles. That play is over with. You can't harp on that play and drop your head and be complaining to the refs all the time. You got to keep it going. And if you have that instilled in you at an early age, it'll manifest as you get older.
So you spoke of Fitch. That was your coach?
Coach Jeff Fitch, yes.
Now
Scott Fitch's father.
Jeff Fitch is Scott Fitch's father?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What was it like playing under his system?
It's almost like playing at Duke.
As far as like Duke.
Well, I say that because it's structured, and and Coach Fitch was respected, and he had his own history as a coach. He built that program, and there was nothing but respect. But so coming up in the system, like we ran plays, some of the plays that we ran in the 7th and 8th grade, you would see those when you got to varsity.
Yeah.
So Coach Fitch his eyes was always around even 7th and 8th grade, 9th grade, JV. You know, it was his program. So when you're a part of a program, the head coach is still a part of the program for the undergraduates, for the JVs, JVs all the way down. So that's what I say when I say a system. It's like you're learning the plays each year, each level that you step up.
Right.
You know, so you learn how to get your own shot off the offense and this, that, and the third. But like most of the time, we were running offenses, and there was not a lot of freelancing.
So your junior and your senior year, you know, what was it like? You know, attaching those, you know, skills from your previous years going into your later years in high school.
The junior year was I was an underclassman, so there was players that were before me. I wasn't better than anybody. Like if you were good enough, you'll play. But I understood. I never was like, I want to get in the game. There was probably a guy named, I'm gonna name his name, Bill Russell, that I used to, that me and him used to go at it. You know, he was a super halfback football player. He was a superstar athlete as well. And I knew that's the spot that I was gonna have to compete from at the 2 rock. And you know, you just keep working and improving. And where you prove yourself is in practice.
Yeah.
And that's when you earn your time. And you earn your time in front of the coach. And I used to just go. Bill Russell was the one I did, so we were matched up all season, every practice. So you know, I used to give him that work. Like,
what was your best rivals in county and in the city?
You mean rivals as means school rivals or personal rivals?
School, combination of both. You can add them up and answer them all.
Rivals. When we used to play Greece, my personal rivals were probably Greece Olympia, because that's where Dobie and Eddie played along.
Shout out to Dobie.
So it was always fun when we played each other. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a fun rival. It wasn't a bitter rival. Rush Henrietta was more of a bitter rival. Yeah, they tried to get at us. After the senior year, we beat them. I think in overtime. They tried to jump us in the parking lot.
Who they had playing the Rush during that time, as you could recall?
Eric Wyatt. Shout out to Eric Wyatt. I think he played at. He's a good guy. Good guy. He played. I think he went to Wagner. Played Division I at Wagner. He played all the way from 9th grade to varsity from 9th grade to 12th grade. Who else was on Henry? I think that there was some good players. They had a good team, but he was the standout guy.
What about the city? What about the city team?
City team East. We never played East. That was loaded. They were loaded.
What you mean you never played East? But
we never played them in summer league. We didn't never play them. We never got matched up. We never played them.
But that was considered one of your rivals, though.
No, they weren't a rival. You said City College. I said we never played East. We played McQuaid, Mike Montesano, Ted Naden.
Okay, gotcha.
Those guys, they beat us, and then they beat East in the championship that year.
Wow.
You know.
So you leave high school now. You about to head to college and whatnot. What was the recruiting process, and what was your decision making in terms of going to the next level, playing in college?
My father was looking into some schools. Like, I visited Gannon University. I could have gone there. That was a Division II. But the coach was realistic with me and told me I probably wouldn't earn a scholarship until I was a junior. And when I went on a recruitment visit, I walked in the office. This is when I realized that, you know, as good as I might have thought I was coming out of high school, when you get to college, it's a different level. The 2 guard was 6'5", like 220.
Right.
I was 130. You know what I'm saying? So I started understanding. So Alfred State was a JUCO school, so I probably would be able to go. I figured I would be able to go there, play 2 years and transfer. But I got to Alfred. That was I was a little nervous when I got to Alfred.
Right.
You had Sherrod there. Shout out to Rod.
Who's that, Sherrod Folk?
Sherrod Folk, a.k.a. Party.
Okay.
My man, Jaquad Thompson from Manhattan Center. Sean Troutman from Buffalo Cats, Chris Boone, Royce Mitchell. So when I walked in the gym, you know, I was like, oh wow. So it was, but I put all the work that I put in over the summers, getting better, especially starting my junior year in high school. When I got to Alfred, I was ready. Then when I got to start practicing, there was more open. My game opened up a lot more. There's a lot to do. Had more freedom to do more than just shoot the ball. So
I heard you broke a record there at Alfred State. What was that record entail?
I broke the 3-point record in the first game. I had to give a shout out to Sherrod again, because Sherrod broke the assist record that game too. He had 17 assists. So I had 8 threes the first game, you know. So I kind of thought I was different. I was like, oh, this about to be real easy. Like,
getting good looks.
Rod. You know, you have a good point guard as good as he was.